Hey guys, it's me. Kind of doing this video. I know I missed out on the last 3 rounds as far as doing vlogs. Didn't do one for Camp Coker, Steel Creek, or X Factor this past weekend. Just been kind of busy, I guess. Bullshit excuse, not really a reason to miss. But that's my reason. What this video is kind of for is get you up to speed on my season so far, as far as my accomplishments, kind of where I'm at, what I need to focus on setting forward. I'm just gonna go ahead and start by recapping the year up to this point. Let's see, started out Georgia, went out, ran, started like way off to the side of everyone, took off into the first corner, wrecked, put me dead last going into the woods. Then I want to say about mile marker 9 on the first lap, my grips broke loose, the grip glue broke loose, and I forgot to wire my grips, so they just like spun in circles. It was terrible to try to hold on. Gave me huge blisters all over my hands, kind of have scars from them. Ended up just kind of finishing there with a 10th. So obviously I knew that's where I didn't want to be. I knew I was front of the pack guy, and I definitely should have been up there. So between Georgia and then let's see, it would have been Steel Creek, I started putting in a lot more work on the bicycle. I got a stationary trainer, set it up in the basement, that way I can still have time with Kenna and Carter. Started doing that, started lifting a little bit more and kind of teetering, going back into the gym. Got on the rower a few times. Been doing a lot of push-ups. That helped out. That's something that I started doing a lot of, push-ups, to kind of help with that back, shoulder strength, and chest strength from just that constant beating that your body takes from the 3-hour race. So moved on to Steel Creek, took off there, had the only good start I've had all year long. I want to say I was like 6th going into the woods, ran 5th a lot of the time, and then on the last lap I moved into 3rd. I was able to finish there. That was some good racing, super consistent lap times. The thing that held me back as far as Steel Creek is my first lap times weren't fast enough to hang with that lead group. So, or the front pack of that lead, the front few guys of that lead group. So they pulled me like, I want to say they pulled me like 4 or 5 minutes in the first 2 laps. And then even though my last 3 laps were consistent to even a little bit faster than them, it just wasn't enough to catch up. So I kind of went back to the drawing board and knew that I had to like start not just working out more, but finding more speed. So we had 3 weeks between, or no, that ain't right. So I needed to find more speed, so went back, started riding more, getting more seat time in, because I knew that was just kind of a given. I knew it would help. Got the seat time, did more training as far as physical. I actually got into this stuff, it's a supplement brand, Rhino Power. It's great. I'm really weird about taking like I'm really weird about taking pills and what I put in my body. I've always just been like a water, and then some Pedialyte the weekend of the race kind of guy. But realizing that hey, I need a little extra edge, what I did is I started doing a lot of research on the Rhino Power. Ended up getting some of it, and I loved it. I still do. I got the Motivation Veggie Pills, the Endurance Veggie Pills. I got Carbo Fuel and Hydration Fuel, and I got with it with the people over at Rhino Power, and they kind of set me up with an idea of how to use the products and get the best response out of them. We've tweaked that plan a little bit. Maybe I'll do another video later on about what my exact regimen is for the Rhino Power. But then went on to Camp Coger. We didn't go down for the whole weekend, so it was just me and Dad took a trip down, loaded the trucks up in the bike with bare minimums. Went down. I found a plug before the race started, so it's kind of rushing around. Didn't get to eat lunch, so I drank Carbo Fuel real quick and some hydration after I got my spark plug, and I was at the line. Went down to the line, got kind of stretched out, warmed up, that sort of thing. Took off and just had a pretty decent race in Camp Coger. Ended up with another third. Again, those front guys just kept pulling me. They didn't pull me quite as bad. I was closer to them, but they still did pull me. I think they pulled me 3 minutes, and then I wasn't able to catch up. So then we had it would have been a 3-week break between Camp Coger in South Carolina and X Factor in Indiana, which was just not this past weekend, but the weekend before. So what I did is I went out, someone has a motocross track that I just passed in the middle of the city, but went out and I went to Fast Tracks to try to find a little bit more sprint speed, because with their GP down there, they have it's more high speed corners. It's not real technical, just excuse me, I'm tired today, but kind of went down there looking for speed. Ran 2 sessions. I think I got third with a 12th overall in the first session and a 6th overall in the second. Then went, and the following weekend I had some of my buddies that are actually run my class at the GNCCs. I had them come down to the house, and we all rode, and that's where I got into a tree, and I never hit the tree with the bike. I just got it, I hit a jump, dumped the clutch, and the direction I went was right towards the tree. Evidently I got leaned over just in time to where my handlebars didn't hit, but it smashed my foot between the tree and the bike. If it weren't for my Garnet SG12s, we'd be talking about the nub that I have instead of a foot. But boots did their job and took the biggest brunt of the blow. So I ended up just 2 of my toes kind of exploded. I lost the tip of my ring toe, or my middle toe, and my ring toe just kind of split in 2 different places. Ended up with 20 different stitches, or 20 stitches in the 2 different toes. They put my toenail back on just for protection purposes to the nail bed, I guess. And then there's also bone fragments that are in my ring toe that we're kind of keeping a close eye on, just to make sure they're all fine. But doctors and podiatrists are saying it should be fine. There was kind of a mix-up with my antibiotics in the beginning. Got some antibiotics, and it only covered the strep infection that was that was present, or could have been present. So it started to get a little infected and ended up going to a different hospital, and they prescribed me another antibiotic. I honestly don't remember the name. And it covers like staph and MRSA infection, to kind of protect me from that. So I was down minimum amount of days, didn't really affect life a whole lot, was able to still go to work, all that good stuff. I wasn't supposed to race at Indiana. They really, because of the risk of infection was so high at the time, but I went ahead and against better judgment, I went ahead and raced. Kind of more or less because I missed the first 2 rounds. I didn't want to miss a 3rd round, and I knew that there was a possibility I could improve and catch up to points. And that's ultimately what I did. I went out there, and I want to say I didn't wreck off the start. I kicked my bike, and I just didn't kick it hard enough to turn it over all the way. I usually kick it versus the electric start. It's not the electric start won't start it, but I'd like to be able to blame myself for something going wrong versus the bike. So kicked it, didn't start, and I didn't really realize the bike didn't start, so it kind of took me a second. Well, by the time I got my kicker folded back out and kicked it again, I was back to the pack in a dust bowl. Couldn't see. I mean, I bet by the time we went maybe, I don't know, half a mile before we got into the woods where the dust calmed down, I bet that front pack pulled me 15 to 20 seconds just because I couldn't see in the back where I was at. So that kind of threw me off, and then I was kind of struggling mentally, which that explains that whole race is just a big mental struggle. I didn't really show up mentally. I just kind of got scared to get in too close to trees, didn't want to blow my foot back open, and I kind of got going there towards the end, but it just wasn't enough. I was running 6th, no, I was running 7th, caught up to like 5th and 6th, and was running with them, had actually made the passes, and then started hearing a pretty bad grinding noise. Well, I never really paid attention to what it was until the last lap. I finally started to get some clutch fade, so I looked down, and here I'd like blown a hole through the side of my case. Looked like I hit a rock, maybe one of the rocks that was in the rut, hit my brake pedal and shoved it over into my case. Put just a little hole in it and drained all my oil out. I didn't burn my clutches up or anything, because when I realized that I didn't have any oil left in my bike, I decided just to more or less put it back, finish the lap, and just kind of get points without destroying the bike. As far as points go, I really shouldn't have done that, because it would have given me another like 4 points, but because I ended up finishing at 9th, but for me it was okay. I need to get this bike back. I'm going to lose more positions if I don't finish this lap. It was that sort of thing. Plus the turnaround time to try to get the bike fixed, to be able to ride before the pit, which is this upcoming weekend. There was a lot of stuff going through my head at that time. So that's what I decided, is just kind of get it back to the finish, try to minimize the use of my clutch, and go from there. So I ended up 9th. For whatever reason, the results have changed and it's showing me a 7th. Not quite sure what's going on there, but so even though I finished 9th on the day, my results are showing 7th now. So, like I said, I don't know what's going on with that, but I got the stitches out the Tuesday after the X Factor in Indiana. good to go. Didn't look like I'd be needing any surgery, anything like that. So started getting back on the bike. Let's see, I got my stitches out Tuesday. It rained like, I want to say it rained Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I rode Thursday, Friday, probably like 3 to 4 hours each day, with Drew Norris is one of the guys that runs my class. He lives in Ohio here, so he came down and we rode together, get some practice in, and see if we can help each other out in any areas of our riding. So rode Thursday, Friday. I didn't get to ride Saturday. We were at a memorial service for my great aunt, and then Sunday we went down to my grandparents to celebrate my grandpa's birthday, which is I believe it's tomorrow, and Mother's Day, because Indiana was during Mother's Day, so went down there for that. And then I'm not even quite sure what I did the rest of the day Sunday, but so we're getting things together for Indiana. Got all the stuff cleaned up on Sunday. That's what we did the rest of the day. Cleaned the rest of my gear up and bike, and got everything to where we can get it ready for this weekend. Really looking to finally get that first win. I've never won at a national. I won the championship in 2016 in Open C, but all I ever got was, I think, 3 second place finishes. But I had a lot of thirds and a lot of fourths, so it was consistent enough to get me where I needed to be to get the championship there. So it's my third year of racing, period, third year of racing nationals as well. So I'm really looking to get that first win at the national. A win could really help me out in points right now. Everybody's still in the points chase. No one's out of it. I think there's eight or 9 guys that are all right there, fairly close together. But yeah, so that's where we're at. Hopefully we can get the bikes all put together, get them all running 100%, get the body running 100% for this weekend, and like I said, get that win. Is obviously the end goal for the weekend, because that'll put us towards the final goal of the championship for the year. So that's kind of an update on what's been going on this year, where we're at, how we've been doing. Gotta thank the sponsors, everyone that's gotten me this far. Gas, Lancaster Sports Cycles Racing, RLA Utilities, Mobius Braces, Answer Racing, 100%, Rhino Power, Garnet USA, Dunlop Tires, Shore Batteries. There's so many more people out there that are behind me. My dad, he comes home, works on bikes, listens to me talk about bikes. Kenna, I don't know how Kenna puts up with all of it. That's because I'm just, it seems like I'm obsessed, which I really kind of am. Carter, he's a trooper. He's just as into it as me, and he'll be 3 months old on Sunday. So yeah, that's where we're at. Thank you to everyone helping me and behind me, anyone who's been watching me. I'm also coming out with a little logo, a JB502. I'm gonna start printing that on some t-shirts, just kind of selling them, just kind of get the name out there, do some self-branding stuff. Been reading this book, Crushing It by Gary Vaynerchuk. I watched all his podcasts, and I watch him a lot on Facebook. So I told myself the other day I was going to buy a book, and I saw that one. I said that's the book I want. So I've kind of been reading a little bit more about the self-marketing, but we're going to see how the rest of this season wraps up. Like I said, I'm going to pick up with the vlogs again this weekend. Got some cool things that I'm hoping will go through. So yeah, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, check out my Instagram, Jacob_Barnes_502 on Instagram, and Twitter. They're both the same username. Check out my athlete page on Facebook. It's just Jacob Barnes under the athlete category. And also, let's see, we're on YouTube, so everything's covered. Thanks for watching.